Here we go, guys. It has begun. My daily tournament coverage has begun. 39 days of daily videos coming at you. Well, some days off during the knockout stages, but we'll still have some content then. Welcome to day one of the World Cup Daily Recap. I'm Adrian. This is Rabona TV. Glad to have you here. And guys, I've partnered with the 90th Minute and World Soccer Talk for this tournament to ensure I can cover every aspect for you. So I do have some help. And part of that comes in the form of a good man helping me with some of the matches. More on that later. Also, one more thing before we get into it. We'll have plenty of watch-alongs throughout the tournament as our schedule has been posted in the community tab now. But we're starting today with Canada versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. So do make sure you join me for that 15 minutes before kickoff at 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when we will go live. All right, let's get to the opener. What a vibe in Mexico City. From the crack of dawn, you had people congregating around the Azteca. And yeah, we're calling it that, not Mexico City Stadium or whatever FIFA wants us to call it. Also, am I crazy or has Andrea Bocelli been singing at a ton of football events lately? But anyway, this was always going to be a difficult match for South Africa. South Africa's game plan was clear from how they lined up, 5 at the back. They wanted to absorb pressure, draw Mexico in, and then try to hit Mexico on the counter. Mexico trying to be on the front foot. Jimenez spearheading the attack with Alvarado and Quiñones on either side of him. Quiñones sometimes as a winger, other times drifting inside to partner Jimenez. One of the top performers for Mexico early on. The atmosphere, the stadium, those steep terraces with 80,000 plus staring down at the South Africans. And South Africa looked a bit shell-shocked by the environment early in this one. And you can't discount what the altitude was doing to them as well. It takes getting used to, but that doesn't explain some of the mistakes that we were seeing, right? Loose touches from the South Africans, passing to teammates who are already surrounded by Mexican players. Ronwin Williams, the goalkeeper, a bit of a teammate sabotaging pass to Sithole. Not that Sithole's first touch was very good or anything, but they lost possession in a horrible place, and Julian Quiñones, the Colombian-born Mexican who scored 33 goals in 31 games in Saudi Arabia, smacked it low and through Ronwin Williams' legs for 1-0. And that was actually Mexico's third fastest goal ever at a World Cup. The first time that the first goal of a World Cup has been scored by a CONCACAF player, according to Opta. Mexico were attacking well. Some great chances for them in the first half. The save Jimenez forced out of Williams early. The Quiñones goal, Quiñones off the post, and then Brian Gutierrez mishit when he was in on goal. Could have had more, but South Africa were hanging on at the time. One thing I noticed was how well Aguirre set Mexico up to not allow South Africa to play from the back. They were basically man-marking them with that high press with 4 players to give Williams absolutely no options to pass short to, forcing him to go long, or at least you'd think he'd do that. But South Africa stuck to their plan and would try to pass their way out of trouble when it probably wasn't appropriate to do so. And that's on Bruce. And I say this because we saw it immediately in the second half with some more self-inflicted pressure from South Africa, a giveaway from Williams again, but Mexico not really taking advantage of it that time. Unfortunately for Sithole, his bad day would get even worse, and fortunately for Mexico, Gutierrez making a run between the lines, wide open space, a touch across Sithole's path, and he went down. Red card, no choice for the referee, had to do it, and it wouldn't be the last time he would have to do that. But before that, you had Raul Jimenez scoring the second goal of this game, which was his first World Cup goal, put on a plate by Roberto Alvarado, who was very good in this game, and it was over, right? At least when it came to goals, because you had 2 more cards, more red cards than goals in this game. One for Zwane for a punch, silly, and one for Cesar Montes for Mexico for a last man foul. All 3 the correct calls from the referee. Montes is a huge loss for Mexico going forward, their captain. So 2-0 it ended. Great start for Mexico in a game that they never really looked that threatened in. South Africa a bit off the pace. That early mistake, and a mistake they kept on making and playing from the back, setting the tone for a poor match overall. I really expected better from South Africa, as I'm sure their fans did, but Hugo Bruce played this way too safe, way too conservative, and Mexico executed well when they had to. Honestly, they took this match at a trot, just took care of business. So Taking a look at South Korea versus Czechia, 10 p.m. kickoff. It's an expanded World Cup. There are so many matches, and with all of the content I want to pull off for you guys, I can't watch every game or film for every game, especially midnight kickoffs. So to help lighten the load and take a match off of my plate now and then, we have Dan Riccio. He's covered the Whitecaps in MLS, Toronto FC as well. He recently spoke with Jonathan Osorio of the Canadian men's national team. He's a real journalist, unlike me. Please, let's welcome him in the comments and be kind. He's had a rough time recently. He supports Italy and Juve, the poor man. Take it away, Dan.
Thank you, Adrian. Happy to be on board. Now, if you thought that this second match of the day was going to be not the most entertaining, you were sorely mistaken. This match was a banger. It had a little bit of everything. 22 shots on goal in total, 15 of them from Korea. You had 3 goals in the match and another one disallowed. Let's get into it. Both teams came out in a 3-4-2-1, the classic Christmas tree, but both teams played very differently. Korea was on the front foot as expected, and the Czechs, as expected, played a little bit more defensive, looked for a counterattack, looked for set pieces. Both teams did have some success in that manner, but it was mostly Korea doing the damage in the first half. Though it would end up goalless, Son Heung-min did his best to try and get Korea that first goal of the match. He had 4 of Korea's 6 attempts in the first 45 minutes. Every time he was on the ball, you could just feel an anticipation rising through the crowd, right? They know it's Son Heung-min. He's been to 4 World Cups. He's a star on the world stage for many, many years, and he would slalom at defenders and try to find a way through, try to find a shot, try to find the net, but it was Matej Kovač who was just always in the way. The Czech goalkeeper was the star of the first 45 and the main reason this remained goalless through the first half. In the second half, Kovač would come up big again. Son is sent through on goal. He tries to chip the keeper, but he stands tall and keeps it goalless for the time being. And we know how these things go, especially in football. One team is getting all the chances, they can't seem to find a way to score, ball goes back the other way. Yeah, you know how this plays out. It's a long throw from the right side. Soufal is taking it for the Czechs. He throws it into the area, and out of nowhere, with a late run, Ladislav Krejci, the Czech captain, defender, rises up through the air and heads it into the net. 1-0 for the Czechs, completely against the run of play. And what happens after that? Well, Czech manager Miroslav Kubek goes for a triple substitution shortly after the goal. Changes his formation to more of a 3-5-1-1, tries to go even more defensive, and the most predictable thing happens. Korea immediately scores going back the other way. And I will tell you, it is a beautiful goal that gets it done. Deserved, and finally breaks through Kovač, who was just a brick wall through the first bit of the match. Lee Kang-in, who might be playing his trade for Atletico Madrid pretty soon, sends a ball through for Wang and Bong. He breaks into the area, cuts back on a defender, chips the goalkeeper. It's all happening in slow motion. You know, one of those perfect plays where the ball is slowly rolling into the net and every defender is hopeless to stopping it. Yeah, that was this. I covered this guy for 2 seasons when he was with the Vancouver Whitecaps. He never did anything like this. He is just an unbelievable player and would end up being the man of the match. Not just for this goal, but also for something that came later. So we're through 70 minutes. You think maybe both teams are okay with a split of the points. Nope. The Czechs get a set piece. This is where they do their damage, and they get it from the left side. Ball comes in. Thomas Souček, as we've seen him do so many times in the Premier League, jumps for it, heads it in. Unfortunately, the flag goes up, and it's still 1-1. The Czechs, maybe tired from celebrating their disallowed goal, give up a chance going back the other way immediately. Wang and Bum, there's that name again, sent through on the right flank. He's able to play a low cross through for Hyung-Gyu Oh. The Besiktas striker took off Son Heung-min and scores the winning goal of the match. Just chef's kiss. The deserved team gets the go-ahead goal, as they should. It's 2-1 Korea. Now the Czechs, they didn't go down without a fight. They tried to invoke the spirit of Pavel Nedved as best they could, had 2 big chances, both were stopped by Korean keeper Kim, and it stayed 2-1 to end the match and give Korea 3 points, putting them level with Mexico, who had won earlier in the day. This sets up a potentially group deciding match between Mexico and Korea for Stage 2 of Group A, and also the Czechs will play South Africa. The winner of that match could put themselves in a good position to qualify for the round of 32. A lot of storylines coming out of day 1. I absolutely cannot wait for day 2. Back to you, Adrian.
Okay. Thank you, Dan, and that will do it for this episode of the Daily Recap. If you want to set up the rest of your day, head over to the 90th Minute for their daily preview show, hosted by Dan, of course. Guys, I'll see you in the watch-along later today, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Same place, same time. Later.